This video will go over the MUNE-incremental basics or MUNE basics. First, you're going to open up your Sierra Summit software, log in, put in your patient data, and then you'll start a new study. You'll get to this window, and you're going to select All Tests tab, and then scroll down to the bottom, MUNE incremental. And then you're going to choose whatever muscle you want to do. We're going to choose abductor pollicis brevis today. And then click the side you want to do, left or right, and click OK. If you would like detailed information, you can go into the help files, help topics, and you can type in MUNE in the search bar and then click on incremental basics. And it'll give you all the details. And I'm just going to give you an abbreviated overview of how to run the test during this video. You'll want to verify the amplifier settings and the fact that you're on the left or the right side, which is up at the top. Amplifier settings are here. I'm going to go ahead and make mine 2 millivolts per division. I've already placed my electrodes on the APB muscle, and that's the active cathode, and the anode is on the thumb, and I have a large ground electrode kind of at the base of the wrist. So it'll be between my first stimulating and first recording electrode to reduce noise. We're going to start by the supermax response in the top left window. I'm going to go ahead and increase the intensity. Okay, there's my There's my supermax. I'll go ahead and click on store. And then at the bottom, F1, I'm going to click on max CMAP increments. And then you're going to notice that it drops down to this window here for our next trial to begin. I'm going to go ahead and turn my amperage all the way down, my milliamps all the way to 0. And I'm going to start out slowly increasing the intensity until I get a small response. And I'm going to push store. Doesn't look like my labels are moving over there, so I'm going to go ahead and do that by hand. I'm going to go ahead and increase ever so slightly the milliamps. I'm going to back it down a little. And again. Okay, I'm going to hit store. I'm going to slowly increase. Still increasing the milliamps until I get to super maximal. I want to do about 10 or 11 of these. And we have reached super max. So the first trial on the left is considered to be the lowest amplitude SMUP, single motor unit potential. Then you're going to acquire the second and increase the stimulus intensity until it's a little bit larger. And it's likely due to the activation of the second motor unit. As soon as this response is acquired, the program will compute the difference between this trace and the previously stored trace, and the result is the differences trace area, and the trace is labeled 2-1. So the difference between this trace and this trace is, here's the first trace, which is the smallest one, and now here we have the difference between 1 and 2. It's labeled 2-1. Okay? So each time you acquire a trace, you're going to press store, and it's going to save the increment and difference traces. As increments are acquired and stored, the area/amplitude of each different trace is recorded in the MUNE tables window. The mean SMUP area/amplitude is calculated, and the MUNE value for the muscle is updated. Acquire additional incremental responses. Continue to acquire and store additional increments. Typically 11 increments, 10 different traces need to be acquired for an accurate estimate. The gain can be adjusted in both the increments window and the differences window. Use the gain knob or gain setting in the amplifier toolbar to change the gain of the incremental traces. So right now I'm going to turn the blue knob on the bass, and I'm changing the increments gain. Or I can go up here to the toolbar and I can click on that and change it there. If I want to change the gain in the differences window, I'm going to right click and then choose whatever gain I'd like to change it to. If you want to go to the incremental overlaid window up here and you want to change how that is displayed, you can right click. Currently it's on the increments display, and then you can click on the differences to change that. It's a good idea in the differences window to go ahead and turn on the cursors. So right click in the window and then click on show cursors. And then you can go ahead and move your cursors accordingly so that you know that they are accurately placed. To undo alternation detection, just go ahead and click on the F4 button again. You can left click on a blue alternation trace to select it. The trace will be displayed in yellow when selected, then right click to remove the alternation status in the pop-up menu. Delete selected traces. If you're done with the cursors and you want to hide them again in the differences window, just go ahead and right click and click hide cursors. You can also go to the tab data icon at the top, and you can view the MUNE in the tab data window as well. You'll also note over to the right are the data that was collected during the test.